بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والعاقبة للمتقين ولا عدوان إلا على الظالمين وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن نبينا محمدا عبد الله ورسوله صلى الله عليه وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين. أما بعد, brothers in Islam, today inshallah, like you all know, we're going to talk about the biography of one of the great scholars of Islam, and that's Imam Malik ibn Anas rahimahullah ta'ala. May Allah have mercy upon him. Imam Malik, like you all know, is one of the four well-known Imams: Abu Hanifa, and then Malik, then Al-Shafi'i, and the latest is Imam Ahmad. So Imam Malik rahimahullah was a very great scholar. He was born in the year 93 of Al-Hijrah, the same year that the companion Anas radiallahu anhu passed away in. So he was born in 93 of Al-Hijrah. And he was one of the great scholars of Al-Madinah Nabawiyah. He used to live in Medina, in Saudi Arabia nowadays. And he started seeking knowledge while he was still a young child, after his mother left him with the scholars. She went with him to Rabi'a, his Sheikh Rabi'a, and she left him there, and she said, اذهب إلى ربيعة فتعلم من أدبه قبل علمه. She left him with Rabi'a, the Sheikh, and she said, go to Rabi'a and learn from his manners before you start taking knowledge. So manners goes before knowledge. So you look to this mother and how the mother of Imam Malik dealt with the son. She didn't only feed him and give him drink and a bed to sleep like some mothers do nowadays, but she did more than that. That's to feed the Iman by bringing him to what will be beneficial for his Iman. So Imam Malik rahimahullah, he used to give the same advice to his student Abdullah ibn Wahb. He told him, to Abdullah ibn Wahb, one of his closest students, he said, O son of my brother, learn the manners before you learn the knowledge. Imam Malik rahimahullah was such a great scholar that if somebody would say in his time the scholar of Medina, then everybody knew it was Imam Malik. And there were other scholars in Medina, but he was such a great scholar that if you would say the scholar of Medina, then everybody knew it's about Imam Malik rahimahullah. Imam Malik rahimahullah, the great scholar of Medina, he started giving durus, lessons, and he was 21 years old. And he would not start giving lessons without the approval of the ulama in his time. because he said, not everybody who wants to teach and likes to teach can sit in the masjid for teaching and giving fatwa to the people, until he asks advice from the people who are noble, the people of virtues. So if they see that he is capable and is able to do so, then he can sit in the masjid and teach. And he said about himself, I didn't teach and sat down for teaching until 70 scholars said that I am able to do so. Imam Malik rahimahullah, he only started when 70 of the ulama in his time said that he is able to teach. And he said that if they would prevent him or advise him not to do that, he would not start teaching. So this shows us also that only the person is willing to teach is not enough. That the person is willing to teach is not enough in the da'wah. There is more needed for doing da'wah, and that is knowledge, authentic knowledge. So Imam Malik rahimahullah, like I said, he started teaching while he was 21 years old. And Imam Shafi'i rahimahullah, the great scholar, he was one of his students. Imam Shafi'i, he was one of the students of Imam Malik. And one of the great statements Imam Shafi'i said about his teacher Imam Malik, he said, إِذَا ذُكِرَ الْعُلَمَاءُ فَمَالِكٌ النَّجْمُ. Imam Shafi'i said, if the scholars are being mentioned, then Malik is the star. Out of all the ulama, then Imam Malik is the star. So he was a very great scholar. And Imam Shafi'i is been mentioned, narrated, that he said that the most authentic book, the Muwatta of Imam Malik is. The most authentic book after the Quran is the book of Imam Malik, that's the Muwatta. It's a book in Hadith, just like Sahih Bukhari and Muslim. And he wrote this book in 40 years. It took him 40 years to complete this book. Great book, Al-Muwatta of Imam Malik. The scholars of Islam later on, they explain this. Imam Shafi'i, when he said this statement, there was no Bukhari at the time. There was no Muslim at the time. Because Imam Shafi'i rahimahullah died in the year 150 of Hijrah. Imam Shafi'i Imam Shafi'i died in the year 150 of the Hijrah. So when Imam Shafi'i said that the Muwatta of Imam Malik is the most authentic book, Imam al-Bukhari was born in year 194. 44 years between when Imam Shafi'i passed away and Imam Bukhari was born. So if Imam Shafi'i was living at the time of Imam Bukhari and he saw the book of Imam Bukhari, he would inshallah say that Sahih al-Bukhari, like we all agree today that the most authentic book is. But just, the statement of Imam Shafi'i that shows us the level of this book, Muwatta of Imam Malik. Imam Shafi'i said it's the most authentic book. And he wrote it in 40 years. And when some people came to him and they said, we want to study this book in a few days, he told them, how can you study this book in few days? And it took me 40 years to to write it. So this is a very great book, although we prefer Sahih al-Bukhari over it and also Sahih Muslim, but still it's a great book with a lot of authentic ahadith. So this scholar, Imam Malik, he was very into teaching his students manners. Like he said to his student Abdullah ibn Wahb, "Oh, son of my brother, go and study manners before you take knowledge." So we start with manners before knowledge. And you find that his student Imam Shafi'i, the student of Imam Malik, he used to turn the paper when he used to sit in front of Imam Malik and read to him. He used to turn the paper such a way that you would not hear the paper falling on the other paper. You know, you would not hear the sound of the paper turning. Such akhlaq they used to have, you know, with the Shaykh, and respect for the knowledge that the Shaykh is giving. Today is, in a lot of occasions, totally different. So Imam Malik rahimahullah, the great scholar, he was of the ulama of Ahl Sunnah. And like I told, if somebody would say at that time the Imam of Medina, everybody would know it's Imam Malik rahimahullah. But still, that does not mean that he is mistaking this, that he does not make mistakes. Imam Malik rahimahullah, he gave us some golden rules. He said, "Innama ana bashar, verily I am a human being, ukhti'u wa usib, I make mistakes, I have also correct statements. Fanduru ra'yi, so look to my opinion, فَمَا وَافَقَ السُّنَّةَ فَخُذُوا بِهِ, whatever is according to the sunnah of what I say, then take it." So today, we look to any scholar in the world. If he says something that's according to the sunnah, we take it. Otherwise, we have to refute it. We respect the Shaykh, even if he made a mistake, but we don't take the mistake. So he gives us, Imam Malik, a balanced way between those who are extreme and go overboard with the Shaykhs, and those who have no respect. Both are wrong. Those who say, "We are men, just like Imam Malik is a man," that's what I heard that some are saying that. You know, the ulama, the great scholars of the past, they are men just like us, their opinion is just like our opinion. It's not like that. These were very great scholars, so we have to respect them. But on the other side, we don't take their statements just like a hadith of the Prophet ﷺ. And one of his beautiful statements is that he said, ليس أحد بعد النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم إلا ويؤخذ من قوله ويترك إلا النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم. Imam Malik said, nobody after the Prophet ﷺ would just be taking his statements. Everybody after Prophet ﷺ, he said, everybody after Prophet ﷺ, his statements are being accepted and refuted. Both, like 50-50. Except for the Prophet ﷺ. His statements, we take them all. But everybody after Prophet ﷺ, every statement he made, it can be taken or refused with respect. So this is the balanced way of Ahl Sunnah wal Jama'ah. The student of Imam Malik, one of the closest students, is Imam Abdul ibn Wahb. He shows us the humbleness of Imam Malik, and that he used to accept the advice, and when he was wrong, accept it. Listen to what happened. Imam Malik rahimahullah, he was asked about takhleel al-asabi', that is to takhleel asabi' al-rijlayn, that is to, you know, when you make wudu and you wash your feet, about going with your which finger is this? Pinky. I say pinky, yeah? With the pinky between your toes. So he did not approve that. He said no, yani don't do that. Don't do this takhleel. In Arabic it means takhleel. You go with this one, you go between all the toes after washing the feet, to make it also wet between the toes. So he said, ليس ذلك على الناس. That's not upon the people. يعني to do that. قال, his student Abdul ibn Wahb said, فتركته حتى خف الناس. I left him until the people were lesser, because a lot of people were surrounding Imam Malik. He was a great scholar, so he waited until the people went away, or the majority of them. It became quiet around him, because you don't give advice in front of 100 or 200 people. The Arabs, they say, النصيحة في العلن فضيحة. Giving advice in front of the people is fadiha. It's just like bringing him down. It's not nasiha. You give person advice, you give him advice in seclusion. You take him alone. So his student waited until it was people left, or most of them left, and then he came to Imam Malik. He said, فَقُلْتُ لَهُ, I said to Imam Malik, my sheikh, عِنْدَنَا فِي ذَلِكَ السُنَّةِ, we have a sunnah. You know what you said, it's not upon the people to do? We have a sunnah about that. فَقَالَ وَمَا هِيَ, Imam Malik said, what is this sunnah? He did not accept his statement blindly. He wants to know, give me proof. Because we are this ummah, we are the ummah of dalil, we are the ummah of truth. فقلت, Imam Abdul ibn Wahb said, حدثنا الليث بن سعد عن المستورد ابن شداد القرشي قال, you know, Imam Abdul ibn Wahb, he mentioned the whole chain of narration, because in that time the ulama, subhanAllah, was like next level. Imam Abdul ibn Wahb is not only memorizing the hadith, the proof of doing takhleel, going between your toes with this little finger, but he knows even the chain, the whole chain. I only narrated a bit of the chain is long. Abdullah ibn Wahb, he said, Al-Layth ibn Sa'd told me, Al-Layth ibn Sa'd was one of the greatest scholars of Egypt at the time, that he heard from him, all the way to the Prophet ﷺ. All the way to Al-Mustawrid ibn Shaddad al-Qurashi, all the way to this companion. The name of the companion is Al-Mustawrid or Al-Mustawrad. He said, رأيت رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم, I saw the Messenger صلى الله عليه وسلم يدلك بخنصره ما بين أصابع رجليه. Al-Mustawrad said, I saw the Prophet صلى الله عليه وسلم going between his toes with the khinsar. This is the khinsar, with this finger, between the toes of his feet. فقال, Imam Malik said, إن هذا الحديث حسن. Verily, this hadith is hasan, accepted Look, Imam Malik, just by hearing the names of the narrators, he did not say, I go home, check if they are any authentic narrators, give me a week to check. Just by hearing it directly, he gave the fatwa. He gave the category of the hadith, weak or not. He said this hadith is accepted. What a great scholar was that. وَمَا سَمِعْتُ بِهِ قَطْ إِلَّا السَّاعَةِ. And I never heard about this until now. This is the first time I heard this. But some people, they say, this is the first time I heard this, and they refute it, the hadith. They don't, because it's for them it's something new, so they don't act upon it. So he said, this is the first time I heard this. ثم سمعته بعد ذلك يسأل فيأمر بتخليل الأصابع. Abdullah ibn Wahb, the student, said, after that I used to hear people ask him about that, and he used to order the people to do that, to go between the toes. So look how Imam Malik, first he denied it, he got advice, not from a sheikh but from his student, and directly he changed the fatwa and he ordered to do that. So this is how we have to do. If we hear the hadith, is to act upon it. Imam Malik rahimahullah, he was a great scholar, and he used to put much of his time in seeking knowledge. Like you heard, he wrote the Muwatta, his book, in 40 years. So one of the people of Ibadah, he wrote him advice. One of people who was like doing much Ibadah but lesser in knowledge, he wrote advice to Imam Malik to encourage him to do more Ibadah. Imam Malik replied. He said, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, just like He shared the risk, you know, what you get, money, wealth, you might be poor, He also shared between His servants the deeds. You're going to pray that much, you're going to do that much. So he said, maybe Allah gave tawfiq, success for a person in his prayer, but Allah did not give him the success in fasting. And after Ramadan, he does not fast anymore. He's weak in fasting, but he's strong in praying. And somebody else, you find that he is very strong in giving sadaqah, but in fasting, he's weak. And some, he said, Allah opened the doors for them in al-jihad, fighting in the cause of Allah. And some, Allah opened for them the doors in knowledge, seeking knowledge, and spreading the knowledge. And he said, and that is from the best worship, spreading the knowledge. And he said, I am happy with what Allah gave me. He's referring to himself in spreading the knowledge. He tells him that, you know, the advice he gave him, it was not at his place. This man, he thought ibadat maybe only, you know, praying, but there is more, because spreading knowledge is one of the greatest ibadah. And he said to him, and I don't think, Imam Malik said, I don't think that what I am doing, you know, spreading the knowledge and so forth, is lesser in ajr than what you are doing. You know, praying and maybe sitting in the masjid and doing nafilah. He said, I don't think what I am doing is lesser in than what you are doing. But he said, I hope that both me and you are both on a good side. Look how the advice, not hard. Although he was advising him about his advice, he said, I hope we are both doing good. Imam Malik rahimahullah, when he used to get the answer, a question, he used to say, go back, I will look to it, I will look in it. And once a man came from North Africa to Imam Malik, and he said that the people of North Africa, they ordered him to go to Imam Malik and to ask him. Every time Imam Malik says, La adri, I don't know. Every question he says, La adri, I don't know. ما ابتلينا بهذه المسألة في بلدنا. This question you are asking me, we never had this problem in Medina, so I don't know what the answer is. This is a situation that happened in Al-Maghrib, in North Africa. So he said, this man, O Abu Abdullah, the kunya of Imam Malik, O Abu Abdullah, I left behind me a nation that says nobody on the surface of the earth is more knowledgeable than you. And now you tell me I don't know? Imam Malik insisted, I don't know. And he did not change his mind and said, let me say something because they might think now that I am this or this. No, he insisted, I don't know. Because that is what the Prophet ﷺ, he showed us the danger of talking without knowledge about the religion of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Lastly, أيها الإخوة, we find some statements about the aqeedah of Imam Malik rahimahullah ta'ala. The aqeedah of Imam Malik was just like the aqeedah of his brothers, the ulama of the Salaf. He was on the aqeedah of Ahl Sunnah wal Jama'ah. He said, Abdul ibn Wahb, his student, he said, I heard Imam Malik saying, stick on what the Prophet ﷺ said. And what was that? Two things I left behind, the Prophet ﷺ said. You will not go astray as long as you stick to them. The Book of Allah and the Sunnah of His Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam. What did the Prophet ﷺ say? Said two things. You will never go astray. You will not go astray as long as you stick to them, the Quran and the Sunnah. So Imam Malik is mentioning this to show the people that you have to stick on these two things. Other statement of Imam Malik is al-imanu qawlun wa amal yazidu wa yanqus. Imam Malik said that iman is not only what's in the heart, iman is deeds with the limbs, it's also statements with the tongue, and it increases and decreases. Yes, some groups they say iman does not increase and does not decrease, and that is something what goes against the Quran and also against what you feel, because when a person makes a sin, he feels that the iman goes down. And iman is not only what's in the heart, but also statements, because the Prophet ﷺ said, hadith in Bukhari or Muslim, that the iman is more than 60 categories. Iman, the highest is saying La ilaha illallah, and you say that with the tongue, so that's iman. The lowest of iman is removing something harmful from the road, and you don't do that with the heart. you need your limbs to remove the thing. So that's also Iman. So Iman is not only heart. So what he said is just like the ulama of Ahl Sunnah before him said. One of the statements of Imam Malik is that he said, Allahu fi sama wa ilmuhu fi kulli makan. Imam Malik said that Allah is above the heaven, but his knowledge is everywhere. He's seeing us, he knows what we do. Even if you are in the cave, he sees you. He knows what is going in your mind. But Allah himself is above the heaven. And this is according to the many hadiths. Like what the Prophet ﷺ said, أَلَا تَأْمَنُونِي وَأَنَا أَمِينُ مَنْ فِي السَّمَاءِ. The Prophet ﷺ said, أَلَا تَأْمَنُونِي, approximately meaning, don't you trust me, and I'm the one that is being trusted from the one who is above the heaven. Hadith is authentic. It's in Bukhari and Muslim. And the statement of the Prophet ﷺ that's in Tirmidhi, Shaykh Al-Albani said Sahih, authentic, where the Prophet ﷺ said, Ar-Rahimuna yarhamuhum ar-Rahman, the merciful, the Rahman, the merciful will have mercy upon the merciful. Irhamu man fil ardi yarhamukum man fis sama. The Prophet ﷺ said, have mercy upon those on earth, and the one who's above the heaven will have mercy upon you. Very clear, just like the sun. Have mercy upon those on earth, then the one who's above the heaven will have mercy upon you. And that's who? That's Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So Imam Malik rahimahullah, his statement was just like the ulama of Ahl Hadith, the ulama of Sunnah. According to his statement about the Sahaba, Al-Qadi Iyad, he mentioned that Ashhab ibn Abdul Aziz, he said, we were with Imam Malik, and then suddenly a man came, he's from the Alawiyin. They go overboard in Ali ibn Abi Talib radiallahu anhu. We as Ahl Sunnah, we respect Ali ibn Abi Talib, and we believe that he's from the people of the paradise, like the Prophet ﷺ said. But this man he went overboard in Ali ibn Abi Talib. So he came. So this man, he called Imam Malik. What is the kunya of Imam Malik? Who knows the kunya? Abu Abdullah, the father of Abdullah. That was the kunya of Imam Malik. So he said, oh Abu Abdullah. So Imam Malik, he looked, and the narration said, if somebody called Malik, regardless of who that person is, Imam Malik never used to answer. He just used to look with his face, and that's it. He never used to answer. He just show his face, and that's it. That was Imam Malik. He was like that. He said, this man, this Alawi, the overboard man, he said, I want to make you as a proof between me and Allah. I want to make you as a proof between me and Allah. So when I come to Allah, when I come to Allah, and he will ask me, I said, Imam Malik told me this. I just took his statement. Imam Malik said, go on, what do you want to ask? So the man said, who is the best person after the Prophet ﷺ? And listen brothers, this is the aqeedah of Ahl Sunnah. Imam Malik said, Abu Bakr radiallahu anhu. He said, then who? He said, Summa Umar, then Umar. He said, then who? He said, Al-Khalifatul Maqtulu Dhulman. Then the Khalifa who is being killed in dhulm, in transgression. Who's that? Uthman. He was killed innocent. This man, you know what he said to Imam Malik? Wallahi, I swear by Allah, la ujalisuka abadan. I will never sit with you again. When Imam Malik told him this, he said, Wallahi, I will never sit with you again. How did Imam Malik react? Aggressive? No. He said, فَالْخِيَارُ لَكَ. The choice is to you. If you don't want to sit with me, I don't have a problem. So look, always stay calm. Stay calm, brothers. Not reaction and emotion. The aqeedah of Imam Malik regarding to sitting with the people of innovation. And this is something we have to take benefit from. Imam Abu Nu'aym, he mentioned in his book Al-Hilya, 6th volume, page 324, that Imam Shafi'i said, and he's a student of Imam Malik, Imam Shafi'i said, Imam Malik, he used to, if people of desire, yani the people of bid'ah, used to come to Imam Malik, he used to say to them, he had one rule with them. He used to say to them, أَمَّا إِنِّي عَلَى بَيِّنَةٍ مِّن رَبِّي وَدِينِي. As far as me, Imam Malik said, I have no doubt about my Lord and no doubt about my religion. As far as you are a person of doubt. So look and try to find somebody like you who has doubt like you and go argue with him. This is the golden rule. I am not in doubt about my religion. Why do you come to me? Go and find somebody else who is in doubt like you and go and argue with him. So, no arguing with people of innovation. This is the aqeedah of the great scholar Imam Malik, who lived more than 1,000 years ago. This is the aqeedah of the Salaf. Don't argue. The Prophet ﷺ said, أنا زعيم ببيت في ربض الجنة لمن ترك المراء وإن كان محقا. The Prophet ﷺ said, I guarantee a house at the side of the paradise for the one who leaves the discussion, even he knows that the truth is with him. But you leave the discussion, and the Prophet ﷺ guaranteed you a house in the side of the paradise. In hadith, Sheikh Al-Albani said authentic. So you leave the discussion. Some youth, they like to discuss. One of the beautiful statements of Imam Malik, he said, whatever was not religion in that time can never be religion today. This is also a golden rule. Whatever was not a religion in the time of the Sahaba can never be today a religion. This is something you have to think about. Few words, but a big meaning. Whatever was not religion then, in the blessed times, the best generations, can never be today religion, Imam Malik said. So how about our time? If it will never be the religion in his time, so how about our time? Lastly, أيها الإخوة, a statement of Imam Malik rahimahullah that he made regarding the character, the attributes of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. A man came to Imam Malik and he said, Allah is above his throne. But how did he and go above his throne. How? Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said in the Quran, Ar-Rahmanu ala al-arshi istawa. Ar-Rahman is above the throne. This is Surah Taha. So he believed that, but he said how? Imam Malik, when he heard it, he put his head down and he started sweating because it was so hard for him to hear this question that the Sahaba never used to ask, because this is because a shaitan, if you hear Allah has a hand, like in the Quran, you say, how is his hand? It's all from the shaitan. So he started to say, how is Allah above his throne? So Imam Malik started sweating. Then he raised his head. He said, istiwa, going above, it's not an unknown meaning, but how is unknown. Allah in Surah Al-Rahman, he said that he has a face. Face is not an unknown meaning. The Arabs, they know what wajh is face. But how his face is, it's not known. Because the Prophet ﷺ said, when he talked about the Masih al-Dajjal, the Prophet ﷺ said, you will not see your Lord until you die. We don't know how Allah looks like. But only thing we know is لَيْسَ كَمِثْلِهِ شَيْءٍ. Nothing is like him. Okay? So he said, istiwa is not known. Al-istiwa, the meaning istiwa is known, but how is not unknown, and believing in it is compulsory. You have to believe in it, that Allah has a hand, Allah has a face. All these attributes we believe in. وَالسُّؤَالُ عَنْهُ بِدْعَةٌ. And asking this question is an innovation. Because Sahaba did not ask these questions. When the Prophet ﷺ used to tell them about the attributes of Allah, they didn't say how. Because they know nothing is like Allah. And then he was ordered to took out of the class. And then they took him out of the class because as Imam Malik said, I think that you are an innovator. So these questions are not allowed to be asked. So the ulama of Islam, in many books of Asma wa Sifat, names and attributes of Allah, they mention this statement of Imam Malik. It's a very, very beautiful statement. And some scholars, like Imam al-Dahabi, they said the original statement, this statement, approximately like it, is being said by Salama radiallahu anha. She's the wife of the Prophet ﷺ. She's the one that made this statement before Imam Malik. So this is a golden rule. If somebody asks you about any attribute of Allah, give me any attribute, like hand, we used it with this golden rule. Feet, we used it with this golden rule. Allah loves, sahih, he loves, but we use it with this golden rule. So we say Allah, we use the golden rule of Imam Malik. Laughing is not unknown. We know what laughing is. But how Allah loves is unknown. And believing in it is wajib, compulsory. And asking how He loves is an innovation. Any state, any attribute, the ulama, they said this is a golden rule. Like the hand of Allah. We believe that Allah has a hand, because He told to Iblis, why didn't you prostrate for what I made with my two hands? Yani Adam alayhi salam. So Allah has a hand. A hand is known. We know what hand is in Arabic, but how the hand of Allah is unknown. Believing in it is wajib, and asking this question is innovation. Subhanakallahumma wa bihamdika أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك وجزاكم الله خيرا.